There, this is a continuation of the live stream. This is part two, I guess you might say. Same night, and I hope everybody's able to find us. We'll give everybody a second to join. So if you do join up, or if you're able to find me, then go ahead and say something in the chat. Make sure I'm live. I don't see anybody yet. We'll give we'll give a minute. Okay, Craig's Catfish. Thank you, Craig. So we are live again. Oh, there we are. Okay. I don't know what happened. That is crazy. In fact, I was just staring at the barbs, and all of a sudden, I was booted out completely, and I couldn't seem to get the live stream back. So we'll try that again. I'm sorry. If you raised a question in just a moment ago, I lost the chat. So if you raised a question, can you ask it again if I didn't answer it? Or if somebody didn't answer it? I saw some chatting going on. I'm really sorry about that. I wish I knew what the problem was. I rebooted my phone before I started the chat, so that doesn't seem to be the reason why. So we were talking about what we're going to breed in these 4 tanks behind me. I like to use 4 tanks to the start. So what I mean by the start is I'm going to start producing or putting the pairs together, and then there'll be probably maybe 2 of the tanks that actually were successful in the breeding, and then I'll have 2 tanks that there were no fry, and then I'll use those for maybe 2 tanks. I'll throw in maybe a different barb or something, and that's how we go. So if all 4 actually had fry, then it'd be a humongous batch, right? You know, maybe a couple hundred in each one, and that would be awesome too. You know, 800 fish, then we can grow them up together. Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened. If you liked it before, you maybe like it this time. I'm sorry about the mishap. So getting on to business, we'll give everybody a chance to find us again. Seems like there's only 13 right now, so maybe we'll get a few others. Maybe that's all that's important. So we have the barbs that we're going to tempt. Now I'm going to show you what I do to prepare them and how it will go tonight and tomorrow. So it's I hope it doesn't glitch again. I don't know why it did that. I don't know. You know, sometimes the router's upstairs, the family members may have unplugged it. I don't know. They kicked the plug. I don't know. They don't know I'm live streaming. I'm down in the fish room, so they forget, you know. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff and Shady Grady and CAR. Let's see. What other fish are possibilities? We've got tiger barbs. We've got rosy barbs. I think I've been conditioning the rosy barbs up. We do have Odessas, and we can do the Odessas. If we want to do Odessas, we can do that. I guess that's it. You know, as far as I know, which fish are ready to go into the breeding tanks. And I could use another batch of Odessas. The Odessa batch that I have. And Roman, thank you very much for calling me to tell me that I dropped out. Sometimes that does happen when I don't know. But in this case, I knew I dropped out. In fact, I was looking at the screen, and then poof, it went right back to YouTube. And I was like, what happened? So, oh yeah, I agree. It was probably an internet thing. So, what do you think we should do? Let's take, I wonder, is it possible of doing a poll? I don't know if you can do polls on these things. Is that a possibility, doing a live stream? I have, yeah. So, yeah, my Odessa barbs, the ones that we were looking at here, I know we have Rob Lucas coming down. He's taking a good number of them from that batch there. And then there's another person inquiring about what I have left, and we sold the rest. So I'm actually not having, I don't really have a lot of Odessa barbs on hand, and I like to always have some on hand. George C., I can't believe it. Yes, thank you, George C., for joining us tonight. I met you in person yesterday, and George C. had come by to pick up some live foods. And I'm going to actually tell you, George, those containers I sent you, I don't know if you realize there were no holes in the top. You need pinholes for those little containers. Or if you're going to use your own containers, maybe bigger ones, that's fine too. But tonight, for your benefit, because you are with us, I am going to demonstrate how to set up I'm going to set up a microworm culture, okay? We're going to do that tonight. We're going to do that in just a minute. First, I want to decide what we're going to put into these tanks, which barbs. So anybody out there have a preference? Right now we've got rosy barbs, Odessa barbs, or tiger barbs. What's the choice? Anyone? Let's see what the overwhelming evidence. I wish there was a way I could do some school aquatic. You still have my stream running. Yeah, well, this is like I had to restart it because of dropping out. There's, the controls on this has changed, and in fact, even the way I set up things has changed. I think YouTube is constant. I don't even know what this stuff is here. Filters. Oh, that's filters. Okay. Oh, we have a tiger barbs. We'll go with the live chat. So we have a tiger barb. We have one vote for tiger barbs. Anybody else want to vote? Odessas or the long-finned rosies? Green tigers. Oh boy. What's the easiest to sell? I'll be honest. It doesn't matter what I raise. I can sell everything. With all the fish that we raise between me and Aqua Malik, we're able to sell anything. In fact, right now I don't know if it's difficult to get fish into the country or whatnot, but it seems as though they're looking for fish. We know so many people looking for fish. And Odessa barbs, okay, there's a vote for Odessa barbs. T-shot, what we're doing is we're voting right now. Do we want tiger barbs, Odessa barbs, or long-finned rosies? Which ones do we want to put in there? Lucy's. Yes. Yeah. Stay tuned, Stubbs Aquatics, because I'll be honest with you, there's a couple of things I'm working on now. In the weeks to come, you're going to see how to develop. I have a design coming that I think you'll all like. It is going to be for putting in a system for extracting eggs when you have barbs such as Aurelius barbs, and you want to be able to put them, and the longfin barb. Okay, what is this? We have tiger barbs, Odessa barbs, green tigers. We have two tigers. Oh, and 3 tigers. Boy, it seems like everybody wants to do the tigers. Okay. Frank says Oscars. So, yeah, stay tuned, Chris at Stubbs Aquatics, because there may be some things we can work in. If you follow some of the designs that I've got coming up, you might find yes. Oh, you stole it, Shady Grady. What have you been doing, Shady Grady? You stole it. I already ordered one, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. We're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. we're going to use that same system. Not that it's bad, but the one for Blake's Aquatics takes too many months and it's too expensive to get from Australia, and that's the problem. I can't just 3D print it, but I'll show you. Similar to this system, right here we have the system by the egg trap, which is used, and you saw all the fry over in the jars, right? A new 10-gallon. I had a 10-gallon. I love these things. Take a look. CPDs. Don't mind the algae on the glass. And glow light Danios. What an active tank. This is set up for breeding, of course. And because it's set up for breeding, there's very little plants. I only have that one plant on the right side, and then I have the yeah, these are fun to watch. They're just always so active, and these little salmon colored fish, you know, look at the CPDs, they're looking nice too. Alina, hello, welcome. And this is what's doing it. The little bit of moss we have. Let's see if we can spot any fry. I'm looking now. They go into this trap and they go up the tube and they come right out into this catch basin, as it were. This is a catch basin. I'm looking here, I don't see any fry today, but I'll come back maybe in a couple of days. Every couple of days, maybe once a week, I'll find this full of fry. Going free swimming. Yeah, I don't see any. I did see one by itself. I couldn't catch it. I wasn't too worried about one. I just said I'll leave it in there. And of course, we were successful here, down here with doing the same thing, a very similar thing, with another one, but we used rocks. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm using rocks instead of Java moss, well, these are rainbow shiners. Rainbow shiners spawn over rocky piles, and so when they see the rocks, they go and get excited. The male guards it and does his thing. Yeah, you know what, Shady Grady, with regards to the mesh, what I'm going to use is my fiberglass stuff. I use this all the time, right? Yeah, this is the fiberglass stuff. I'm going to use this stuff. It's a little flexible, and in the video that came out, I cannot remember the individual who published this recently. I was looking at it, maybe because everybody was looking at it, maybe that's why it popped up on my screen. But he covered the green funnel part of the egg trap. He put this stuff I have over there, which is used for needlepoint, and in the needlepoint one, it's a little stiffer. Okay. But you know what I like about this is I just cut this a little bigger and I just fold it, and it just goes into the plastic container, and it provides you don't even have to glue it. I wouldn't take time to glue it because of the springy nature of this stuff. This is you buy this off Amazon, and it's called barbecue mats. For high temperature. You actually cook on these things. You cook your steak on it and all that. It's for even heating. And it's made of material that's, well, fiberglass. So anyway, the actual mesh that I have here is just cut it with scissors so easily, like choo. And then kind of cut it a little bigger than the hole, and then it will kind of wedge in. And I can just wedge it in, and they will. Well, that's what you see behind me. I don't know if you know I set these up already. Take a look. You see, this material
is wedged a little bigger. It's cut just a little bigger than the tank bottom size. So you see kind of bending around the edges. It's like spring loaded. Those fish are not going to be able to pull that aside. There's no gap because I cut it just a little bit bigger. And there's, as you can see, it's kind of wedged against the glass. So that's what each one of these is done. We put egg crate. This is not really from an egg crate from a light fixture. This is actually a divider. I bought this on Amazon one day because I was trying to look for a 20-gallon divider. And you buy these in pieces. They come in this piece, that piece. They connect together, and you can build these dividers for your tanks. And I just took it apart, and I'm using them for spacers. So that keeps the mat, even though it's kind of spring loaded. You see this one, if I set a filter down on top of this mat, like this filter here or this filter here, it would push the mat down, and then the glass would be exposed to the hungry mouths of the barbs. So the plastic underneath the spacer, all it's doing is holding up the mat, keep it from touching the glass bottom, giving yourself even not more than, looks like a ½ inch or less gap between the glass bottom, so that the eggs fall down below and the parents can't get inside. But I don't believe the CPDs can get through this either. So this is why I'm going to use this. So while he used the other method, but we'll compare and see. I think mine's just much faster and easier to work with. But if you want something a little more permanent using that system, you probably could. So what I'm going to do now is each one of these tanks is ready to go. We're going to put a female in each one. And so by putting females in each one tonight, what we're going to do is let them spend 24 hours. And after 24 hours, what we're going to do is we're going to let them relax, and then we'll put in the males tomorrow night. So with 24 hours, we'll put the females. Then we're going to put the males in, and he's going to start wanting to breed. If the females are put in at the same time as the male, sometimes the females don't breed because he just wants to breed with her, and she's just trying to escape. She's scared. She's nervous about the new tank. She was just caught. I have the female tiger barbs down here. It seems like everybody wants tiger barbs. It's no problem though. Let me turn on the light. Oh, I have pentazona barbs too. That is another fish I have. That's a different kind of breeding project. Your pentazonas or hexazonas, along with your, I have a couple of what's the word? They're not as, they breed a little differently. You put them in a group, like 3 females and 2 males, and then what we'll do is we'll do the round robin. We'll put the group into tank number 1, leave them there 2 days, then move them to tank number 2, leave them there 2 days, tank number 3, and then tank number, we just do that. And then hopefully during that process, they will, at least at some point along the way, they will actually spawn. That's how I've been able to do it. A lot of patience with those guys. Now your rhombus barbs and those kind of barbs are pretty much the same. I just turned on the light. They're a little spooked out. You know what we're going to do though is I'm going to feed them some worms. Let's get them all fed up on the worms, okay? And then I'm going to leave this here while you guys chat for a second. I'm going to run over and get some worms, and we'll toss them in here, I'm going to put it right there at the camera, and you can see, I'll just use the basters. Okay, I got some. Well, this is not bad. I got some worms here, but I may have to resort to the Daphnia. Let's see. I'm gonna drop them in there. Let's see what happens. Here they come. There's the worms. Like I told you, they're kind of skittish. The female hexazonas are kind of moving around here. Okay. Wow. Looks like the pentazonas are gonna get the worms before everybody else. See, look at those pentazonas are milling about. They're looking at the worms. Here they go. Getting closer and closer. But the king seem to be just kind of scooting about it. So what I'm going to do is feed the females up. We'll put in some. Let me put in some Daphnia, get them going, huh? If I put in Daphnia, that'll get them going. Kind of draw them out, as it were. And then I want the fish to. Here we go. This will get everybody out in the open. Come on. Now that the Daphnia are in there, they should all come out. I think, okay, here comes, yeah. Let me put, let's see if you can watch from a little higher vantage point. Up here like this. There we go. Now, this feeding, what this is going to do is stimulate them. They're going to eat as much as they can. I'm going to feed them up because once I put them in to the breeding tanks, I'm not going to feed them. Where are all my females? They're all hiding in this moss. Once they come out, you're going to be surprised. Okay, there's a green tiger. I've got some. The green tigers look like they're full. Here they come. The green tigers have come out now. You see them in the foreground. Some Odessas. Everybody's zipping around. They feel the presence of the Daphnia. I'm waiting to see who gets the worms there. A beautiful green female. They're plump. Gosh, they're really plump. I think that is, since there was a vote, was all for the green barbs. I think we'll do that. And green tiger barbs. Even Hagen Hill Design is voting for him. I can't tell you. I love a tank full of green tiger barbs, and I do need more. So, okay, looks like they're gobbling up the food. So maybe they're just shy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 female hexazonas in here.
One of them. Oh, that's why. Because I had some younger ones I put in here. That's right. You can see they're different sizes. The older ones and the younger ones. There's a green tiger's eating away. Okay. Ooh, I see them blue tigers. When I look at those tigers, they sometimes look blue to me. I don't know if it's just the I know it's the angle because iridescent colors, such as those the greens and blues, it depends on the angle of the light. That's what makes them really neat. I preferred when I see them as blue instead of as green. But yeah, most of the time they're just green. Okay. So what we'll do is we're feeding them up now. We'll give them the live food. Also in the breeding tank, I will use Daphnia. So that's the only live food I put because the Daphnia swims around and it goes under the grill or screen. Microworms would just go to the bottom. Blackworms would go to the bottom. They couldn't be reached by the breeders. But the Daphnia, they swim all over, up and down and up and down. And so that because they swim throughout the tank, that's the ideal situation. So and they don't die in the fresh water. So they don't die and foul of the water. So that's where we stand. So what we're going to do tonight, I will have if you're a member of this channel, tomorrow night when we go and put them in there, or just maybe it'll be just a quick live stream tomorrow night. Look for it. If you miss it, that's okay. Watch the replay. But I'll show when I put the males in, and then we'll watch them and see what happens. Okay? But they're all set up. I'm going to put one female and a clump of Java moss. Now it's already close to 9:15, and we don't want to go past 9:30 because we're going to all go over to LRB, right? He's going to do his live stream probably. Okay. School Aquatics has 2 live streams going now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just do a quick demonstration of what to do to propagate the microworms. And I do want to have a shout out to one of the club members of the Peel Regional Aquarium Club, and that is Gary. Gary helped me out when my worms failed to, well, shall we say they died out when I went to California for a whole month, and I didn't get them reestablished until I came back. But let's take a look at the culture, and I'm going to demonstrate everything that I do that's about microworms, because they're very, very useful for a lot of applications. For example, when I do the Lucipennis, microworms are really nice. I'll show you I'm going to show you first how to feed them, how you process them into making it a food, and then we'll go from there, okay? So let's see, let's come around to this side. This will be more practical. And what I'm going to do, just realized that the dehumidifier was running, making noise. Very simple. Okay. Here is my culture of microworms. I use this size container. They do run up on the sides, and when they do that, you'll see quite a bit of worms along the sides. Very easy to culture, to harvest. There's several ways to harvest them. There's one method is to use a small container. And I'm going to fill it with water. I'm going to use something this size, and because that's all I need. And I'm going to take water. fill it up. I always use the dechlorinated water. I don't want any issues. So then I just do this. Now, here's one method. I just take my finger. I don't have a problem with this because I know these are nematoids. They're not really worms, but these are the nematoids, and you run your finger along the side until you pick up a bunch on the finger, and then you dip it in the water, and they come off. Just do that. Okay? That's one method. Also, you'll notice on the surface of the media, there's 1,000 billion trillion worms, and you can just see the whole surface moving. And what I've done is, instead of trying to use the finger method, I use the paper towel method. I now have a piece of paper towel. This is a paper towel, and I hope you're watching this, George C. This is a paper towel, but it's not a absorbent type of paper towel. It's a paper towel. This is the kind you find in restrooms, public restrooms, where it comes in a big roll, and it's more like paper, and you just use it once for your hands, and then you walk away. So I've cut a piece like this, and I just lay it down on the surface and hold the end. Let it absorb for a few seconds, and then I just quickly pick it up. Not quickly, but just gently pick it up. Now this piece of paper absorbs the liquid, but not so much the medium. Now watch what happens when I put it in the water and shake it. Done. Now George C is going to be he's raising cories, and these are perfect for cories because they go into the water column, but they will sink to the bottom. Now this is white. It's white, but it's white. My flashlight is over here. I must have set the other one down. And so here we go. You notice how white it is? It's very cloudy because it's full of microworms. And that's how you do it. So that method works too. Either way, I then take a baster and I can feed this solution, which is full of microworms, into the containers like this one, and just go around to the different ones, catfish especially. I can even feed, I have a tank behind me that has cories in it, and so I just shoot it into the tank. The cardinals eat it, everything eats the microworms as they're coming down, but once it hits the soil, they're on the soil and the cories go nuts. They just start with their little feelers feeding the little worms, and they love it. Alright, now that was 4 minutes. Let's go on for 5 more minutes to show how I start a new culture. So this one might get to smelling bad. Always have more than one culture of your live foods. And the reason for that is because if one should crash, we don't want any issues. So I have gone to the store and I picked up a number of these. I'm going to use the green bed, because I want to make a differentiation between the red ones so I can see which is which culture just by looking. And the blue ones I want to use for these same size containers. They come at the dollar store. I paid like $1.25, I don't know, a piece of these. When you get these things, always check. If you think it's good, always check the edge, or this edge right here, to see if rubbing your finger along to pick up the microworms is not going to cut your finger, because some of them I found as being a little sharp right along here. But these are very smooth, these particular ones. So we're gonna start a new culture right now. I use something that smells least obtrusive. I used mashed puree, mashed potatoes in other words. You buy it in a box like this, Betty Crocker at the grocery store. You open the box and you get 2 or 3 of these packages. I only need like a half of one of these packages to start a new culture. So let me open it up, and I'll use the scissors. Okay. I'm going to take this and put it in, just half. Yeah, more or less. You know, it's not exact science. So then I'll save this for the next culture. And there it is. It's amazing though how much actual water you can put into this. All this water, about one of these, and all this, a half a bag. I'm going to just put in most of it. I'm going to take my spoon. I have a spoon here, and I'm just going to start stirring. As the water absorbs into the powder, I realize that all that watery mess is still not enough to dissolve all the, you know, it looks like egg yolk, that consistency, the yellow egg yolk. I still need a little bit more. And what you want it to be is the consistency a little on the dry side, but because as the culture gets muckier, it's going to be, you know, more wet. It's going to be wetter. So it looks like I used one of these. This is, by the way, half liter. 1/2 liter. Okay. So I'm looking at this, and it looks like mashed potatoes. So then I spread it out. Kind of flatten it out. Just take my spoon, use this round end, and just flatten it out. And this is what I end up with. Kind of mashed it. I just kind of smashed it down like that. Made it flat. What's next? You use from your bread yeast. This is bread yeast. I got this. And you use about a half teaspoon. Just sprinkle it on top. Here we go, half teaspoon. Bread yeast. And then kind of work it into the top section of the potatoes. Okay, it's ready for the culture. Now I take the culture, a little bit of from the existing culture, which is like in George, this case, I gave you something that you can already start to, you know, immediately take from, but this is I'm just going to take off the top. I'm going to use this. I'm just going to skim off the top, about that much. Just kind of spread it out on the new dry bed. Okay. How much? Not important. A little bit is okay. A lot will make it grow faster. Small pinholes, small enough so that any flies will not be able to get in. So you can see I've just dumped the stuff here. You know, let me just see it a little better. Just piled it on top. It doesn't hurt to swish it around just a little bit on this top surface. You don't have to get the worms down deep inside. They will go down. They just live on the surface anyway, so. And that's it. I'm done. That's it. New culture, ready to go, and then just put the lid on it, puncture the holes, maybe date it. Very handy. And this just has to wait. When you see the worms coming up on the sides, time for harvesting. One thing it might be nice is clean, just to clean the sides, since I want to see when they come through, right? So I'm going to take let me take that paper towel and just clean the sides so it doesn't have potato. Here we go. Clean off the sides. Throw that away. Now it's neat and ready to go. And so as soon as you see the worms climbing up the sides, you know it's ready. And so I have the existing culture I can harvest from, a new culture on the works, and I can stack these down below in the lower level of my fish room. Thank you very much for that opportunity to show you. As quick as it was only 10 minutes to actually, once you get of course the things together, the yeast, the instant potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, and the microworms, water, yeah, and a half liter of water. So that is it, and I hope that helped you out, George. I know you did watch my video. There is a video I completely did on showing and demonstrating this. I probably just showed you in 10 minutes what the whole video of 20-minute video was all about. But of course, when it goes slower, it's sort of like, you know, showing more and a little better view and everything like that. So you can check out that video on my links, and I appreciate everyone. And sorry about the rough start. Greg Sage does Daphne on the outside. I'll ask him about that. I didn't know. We do it outside, but we pull them, and you can see I do it on the inside in the wintertime here in Toronto. Or for some of you like Roman, I'll say Toronto. And the Daphne are ready to go outside very soon. Well, what happens is Daphne have two means of reproduction. One is live birth, and that's when things are going great. But when things are getting kind of bad, they lay eggs, and they drop the eggs, and then the eggs hatch when conditions are good. So that's the thing about Daphne. It's like they always come back, because even when the conditions are harsh, they start producing eggs, and then the eggs come back. So that's how that works. Thank you very much, and everybody, for joining. Great questions. I hope I got it. Thumbs up, and I'm very appreciative if you're going over to LR Brett's. Well, go and say hi, and say you're just coming over from the live stream at FishEZ. That in itself is a great way to tell others something about our live streams that are very informative, very educational, and we do that for you. So if you are motivated to do so, I appreciate it so much. Okay, have a good night, and keep it real.